There's definitely a dirty PCB if I ever saw one. So, I managed to pull this back. You have to undo all of the fixings. It's quite obvious what you need, which ones you need to undo. So you can just fold this back here, try and wedge it so it's out of the way. And then, there, that box which looks a little rusty is the alarm. So I'm going to try and take these bolts off. Let's hope they come off. I'll get a bit of little spray with some lubricant and see if it loosens them. I hope there's not one at the back there. No, thankfully there's three. Nice bit of engineering there where at least they thought about it, that this needs to come off. You're never going to get to that back one, so looking like maybe an 8mm socket. Yeah, it's an 8mm. Oh, not bad. That's a lot easier than I thought. That's good. I'm going to give this little body a paint here as well. Not bad considering this is the first time this has probably been off this car since it was made. That's 20 years. 20 years. thought they were rivets at first, but thankfully they're little nuts with a encapsulated washer, and they're an 8mm. There's one at the back. Let's see if I can get to that. Just about. There's the last one. Here's the alarm. See if we can disconnect this without breaking anything. There's a little thing to push in there. There's the plug. Snip that tie wrap off. One alarm. One alarm. So let's get on the bench and see what's inside. Hoping to see a battery in there that I think is worn out, but let's see. It's got one of those little special screws there. I don't know if I've got one of those. It's the one with a hole in it. See if I've got one in this little set here. Oh, I might be lucky. This thing's a bit small, this one. No, that's the right one. That was lucky. I'm going to give that a nice little paint. Right, which way did that go in? Does it matter? Where the hole is, so that you can put the plug through there. That's easy to remember. Right, how do I get in this thing? What do I do? Does it untwist? It's a sealed unit. Not sure. How do you open it up? Let's get it in the vise. Oh, look at that. That has got a lot of moisture in it. So, get the glasses on, see what's going on. That does not look too clever. You can see this circuit board, there's corrosion here, there, on that capacitor by the looks of it. 3.6 volts is probably shorting. I've also got a bit of short over there. So let's get and see what's underneath this little bad boy. I'm glad I opened it now. Yeah, there's definitely a dirty PCB if I ever saw one. No wonder the thing's not behaving itself. I mean, looking at this here, there's actually a chipped resistor by the looks of it. Yeah, I think realistically it looks like a new alarm's needed. I'll probably buy a used one. Oh, I've just seen a bloody cut through the cable there, look. Look at that. Just solder that up, what an idiot. I'm actually tempted to mount it inside the car rather than having it in that area underneath the wheel arch. It'd be a lot easier to get to. I'm gonna have a look at the cable and see if I can do that. So you can see where the cable goes through here, and that little rubber gland. Obviously it's down here because you've got the sound that it's going to make, and it's going to make more of an alarm sound on the outside than it probably would do inside the engine. But for the amount of times it's going to go off, I'm not going to bother. I'm going to pull this cable back through that little rubber grommet, which is just in there, down the bottom there. And just here, I'm going to mount the new alarm. A little bit of a modification, I think. Plenty of other places to mount it, but down here is nice and dry, so looks like it's just about big enough, so why not? Why not indeed? Good. So I think I'll go and have a look online. Maybe I can get a used one, and for now I'm just going to disconnect the alarm, and hopefully that'll stop the alarm going off and flattening my battery. So what I'm going to decide to do, I'm going to mount this actually inside the engine bay where it's nice and dry, and that means I can access it easy. It means if this is giving me an issue, then I can simply disconnect it, and hopefully that will stop the lights from flashing and therefore draining my battery. It also means I haven't got to go and take that fender off, the lining off the inside of that fender. I haven't got to get to that bracket, etc, etc. I mean, it's obviously designed to be on the outside of the car, so it's got the best effect of making it as loud as possible, but for all intents and purposes, how often does your car alarm go off? So I'm going to modify it. I'm going to put it inside the engine to make it easy to get to, and if I need to get another one, I can easily replace it without having to take the whole lining off, etc, and hopefully it will just be a 5-minute job. So I'll still put this back on the car. We're going to give it a go. I'm going to put some sealant around there. It won't get wet now because I'm going to change where it's going to go, and I'll show you that just now. And then what I'm going to do, this is self-amalgamating tape, and it basically sticks to itself, and it's pretty good because it's got like a flexible rubber nature to it, so you can actually pull it and it will go quite thin, which is nice. So once you've got it round once, it's now going to start bonding to itself. It makes a nice snug fit by giving it a bit of a stretch. Something like that. There, sealed. Now, as I said, I'm not expecting this to work. It'd be nice if it did, but if it does work, at least it's sealed. Okay, done. Let's get it back on the car. Aha! Right, so that's the other end of the alarm. So you can see this little hole down here. I'll stick my finger. So you can see down there that little hole. And all I've done is just basically remove this little gland, little rubber grommet. I'll put it back in, and it's not going to serve a purpose, so on the end there I may as well seal it with a bit of that rubber tape, and then it's going to act like a bung really. So if I ever feel the desire to put the alarm back where it was, I can, but in all intents and purposes it's going to sit just here in this little hole. I'm just going to make a little bracket so that I can secure it in the car. I may as well use the one that came with the alarm, then I know where it is. There. Handy little bracket. So now I've got somewhere to put a tie wrap on. Okay, so what I decided to do, instead of mounting it down here, it's going to make it difficult if I ever have to access this control module here. So I've found I can just about get this cable through. This is the other end of the alarm, and I'm going to feed it through this little bit of trunking, like so, just about long enough, and then come out this little hole. It's almost perfect. It's almost like it's just been made for it. I'm going to mount the alarm, and there's actually two fixings, one here, one here, so I can mount it on there. I'm just going to mount it like that, and then this can then plug in to here. On there. That looks pretty good. Okay, so here's the finished result. Mounted there with the fixing that was already on the car. The plug goes into this trunking, all the way in through here, underneath this rubber seal, and connects down at the bottom to the existing harness. Well, a little update on the alarm. I've been driving now for the last 3 days. I park the car each night. I check out the window to see if there's the flashing lights going off that I had on my alarm. And I think I fixed it. I think there was water on the PCB, or moisture at least. And by cleaning it and drying it, I managed to get away with it. But importantly though, now that I've mounted it in the engine bay, it's a 5-minute job. I could buy a used one, put it on, change it over, plug and play basically. And if you like this sort of thing, I specialise in diagnostics in and around Mercedes and Range Rover. Have a look at this playlist here. It might just give you a few ideas on how to fix your car. And amazing if you've subscribed and taken the time to get to the end of this video, and thumbs up. Until next time, mind how you go.